Hello, everybody. So, let's see now. What shall we do now? India's armies are in disarray, and the Mughal Empire, they have an advantage for once. See, what's weird is if I leave these people alone, the Indians will eventually completely defeat the Mughal Empire. And there are times of, there have been times where the campaign, I supplied the Mughal Empire with millions of my treasure, and they still ended up losing against the relatively bankrupt Indians. So it seems like the only way for the Mughal Empire to win this civil war here in India is to basically interfere and wipe out the Indian armies myself. But I don't know. I haven't passed the turn yet, I don't think. Maybe I have. Everything's been repaired. But let's see. How are things at the home front? Patriotic fever doesn't seem to be as high as I thought it would be. Well, no matter. Britain has broken our alliance and our trade agreement, I think. Let's see. They still want my money, but they don't want to support me in future wars. I'm going to have to discipline these Native Americans, the Iroquois. How dare they launch attacks against me? Let's see. Huh. Okay. So if I want to seize this French territory before France takes a whole load of it, I gotta move now. It is rather unfair how nations in Europe hate me if I seize land while they themselves seize land as well. Is it just jealousy? Or are they hypocritically condemning me for what they themselves are doing? For what they themselves are doing? Alright then. One more assortment of these guys. I better this as soon as possible. Because the only way to maximize this city, I need to keep it as long as possible as my capital before I take Philadelphia. If I take Philadelphia first, then this will cease to be my capital automatically, and thus I will no longer have access to Tier 5 buildings. This I cannot allow happen. Okay, how's my position with France? And why are they unfriendly to me? With an enemy nation. Who are your enemies? You know what? Before the pirates get wiped out, I don't know why, but India has a reputation also of not only inexplicably defeating the superior Mughal Empire despite my tons of help to the Mughals, they also have the unrealistic gall, to ship whole armies across, 10,000 miles, 7,000 miles of ocean on galleys. A galley could barely cross the Mediterranean, much less thousands of miles of ocean, and ship whole armies and seize territories like the one the pirates have. It's outrageous. And even invade Europe. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I think I'm suffering from some indigestion at the moment. Alright. I better move fast and seize that for myself before anything else.
Ready and awaiting orders. Forward! March!
Oh dear.
Any further orders?
These construction crews better haul ass. Let's see. Well, actually, I'll let the Indians decide for themselves what they want here. Yeah, I better do that. But then again,
Onward!
also the post American Revolution campaign. I don't know how this bug works, but this dock
Anything
here
more?
gets
March!
magically. It starts off as a university rather than as an actual dock.
Forward! March!
I do find myself wishing that I could do that. Like, I have an extra dock that I don't really need, so why not build a university or a religious building there?
Immediately!
Oh man, my throat's not living
Ready
well.
and waiting for orders.
Let's see. I should probably seize this area.
Ready for orders.
Save. It's an Islamic nation and therefore does not belong here in India. India for the Indians.
Easy prey. So win.
Attack the outside army, and therefore it'll drain the city of reinforcements. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. I'm willing to bet the enemy is going to attack us from the rear end. So I have a second army facing this way. As they say in Cloud Atlas, that might be the true. I normally play music from a military movie I like, or, well, just some tune that I really enjoy, either a video game theme or a movie theme. But unfortunately, I don't want to be copyright struck, so you'll just have to deal with my voice, as hideous as it may sound. One of my old jobs years ago, I was working as a gas station clerk. I must have had, over the 5 years, 200 people at least tell me that I should get a job voice acting or radio or audiobook reading. Unfortunately, I have not yet had any such luck. Recently, some things have recently happened to me that made me seek my fortune that way, in that sort of career. If you know any voice acting careers that aren't too difficult, go ahead and send them my way, please. YouTube seems rather keen on sabotaging my ability to make a living, or, well, my aspirations for a YouTube career. You've likely seen my shorts, and they are my primary source of subscribers. I must thank a friend of mine later for telling me that. Telling me that subscribers are best earned through the use of shorts. Although it's a bit disheartening because, well, even with shorts, there's a 50-50 shot that I will get 0 views. Yes. Drive away. General, where are you? Turn around. So stupid how this big group is facing the wrong direction. They will continue to do so until these last stragglers catch up. By then, it'll be pointless.
Shooting range! Sir! Attack! Right away!
Turn around and surround this general. Take him out. Good. Drag him off those big elephants. Can you imagine if the Zulus deployed elephants? They would have been quite the force indeed. I mean, their armies were in the tens of thousands back during the high days of the Zulu Empire. And yet, and African elephants are, what, at least a third larger than the Asian elephants that the Indians deployed?
Forward! March! They're trapped!
Let that army be. Let's demand a surrender. Oh well, I gave them the option to be merciful. To be shown mercy. Alrighty then. Just civilians mostly. If I can seize control of the town hall, that is one big building. At least compared to other buildings back in the day. Alright then. I need the fastest runners. Run. You 3 units, run for that building. You guys, run for this one. You guys... I've recently started watching the new Shogun show. It's, in many ways, definitely better than the original show. The cast members are superior by far. Though not necessarily for Toranaga. To be fair, Toranaga's part is basically non-existent in the original show. But the original show is much more faithful to the book, on a, shall we say, per capita sort of way. But the cast members are definitely much more faithful. Like one example would be Mariko. She is definitely, as the book described, very beautiful. Something that her original character in the original show didn't really have. They made the mistake of making Fujiko, the girl assigned to be the consort for Blackthorn, to be much better looking than Mariko. And yet, the book clearly describes her as a bit square-faced, not very good looking. The remake corrects that. However, the remake is also taking some rather interesting turns, making changes, critical changes to the story that... I don't know, I wonder what they're up to. As I check, Toranaga Jr. and Hiromatsu, spoiler alert, they both die, despite the fact that they remain alive to the very end in the book. And I've reread that book plenty of times. One of my favorite adventure stories. Why aren't the peasants attacking?
General, staff at your service.
Yabu Sanai. They changed his name somewhat. I suppose it's a more correct version of the Japanese, though I question why they didn't bother correcting it the first time. As for Lord Toranaga himself, it's too bad that Toshiro Mifune had basically no role in the original show, because I have always loved his acting. The rugged samurai wandering from one place to another, helping people in need and saving the day. He was basically a Shakespearean actor and John Wayne and Clint Eastwood all wrapped up into one guy. The perfect king of all trades. I don't know who the best Shakespearean actor would be. Some people might argue it's, what's his name? Patrick Stewart. Maybe they're right. I don't know. But given how Toshiro was starring in at least one Shakespearean style Japanese remake, well, maybe not Shakespearean style. Let's see, how do I put it? They basically take a story made by Shakespeare that involves medieval knights and change it to have samurai instead. Like Ran, R-A-N, is basically a remake of, what was that show? King Lear. That story, King Lear. Only instead of 3 daughters, it's 3 sons. And Throne of Blood, which is starring my man Toshiro Mifune, that one is, what was his name? Macbeth. They had professional archers shooting at him in that movie. Back then, they didn't have prop arrows. So if you were getting shot at with arrows, you were really getting shot at with arrows. However, he wore some noticeable body armor and had professional archers who really knew how to aim right. And lastly, prayers. You had to pray for safety. But it was worth it. Though kind of funny in certain movies. In certain movies where someone gets killed with an arrow, you can see this big block underneath their clothing. It makes them look unrealistically fat. Like in the 1948 Joan of Arc movie, I see some French soldiers getting shot with arrows, and you notice that they've got these inexplicable square barrel chests. Kind of funny to look at. Oh dear, where was I? You get lost in thought. Too many things easily remind me of something else, and before you know it, I'm going off on different tangents in my own head, and so I go silent. I trail off. Let's see. Oh, they have all different kinds of swords.
Infantry! Militia! General staff, reporting for you.
Oh, they're sending another group already. My general is tired. B. And these peasants are not really moving that fast. See, here's another example of how the AI is stupid. They keep moving their men back and forth unnecessarily, so they tire themselves out. Well, this guy's fresh, I guess because there's the middle group, and everyone else revolves around them. Oh dear, looks like they're trying everything they got to take out my general. Huh. And I killed their general. The irony. Oh dear, what's going on? It's stupid how these guys don't. After they shoot, they reload. Realistically, they'd be swapping man per man. Retreat while you reload, and allow a guy with a loaded musket to shoot. Very good. You guys finally surrendered.
Ready for battle!
A footnote indeed, because, well, I certainly never heard of them. Gold. I've got access to gold. Deep mine shaft. Gems. Just what I need. Grow some rice. Food. We need food. I will unfortunately have to sacrifice this building for the sake of keeping the population happy. The reason why I'm going to keep that college intact is because this game, unrealistically, will not allow me to do any kind of research in the religious universities. The game idiotically thinks that religious universities are nothing more than just oversized churches. The cathedrals are just oversized churches. When in reality they are places of academic study as well. Hell, many of the best scientific discoveries were made. Some of the most productive, rather than destructive, scientific discoveries were made at religious schools. Like Sir Isaac Newton, when I wouldn't say he discovered gravity, but he finally discovered the key to gravity. Or Gregory Mendel, the priest, who discovered plant genetics, which was a gigantic leap forward into our agricultural studies. Let's see. What buildings am I not allowed to build? Secular humanism. And of course, there's another piece that buried in forgotten history. The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory was made up by a creationist. Pointed out that once upon a time there was God, and then there was ground zero, from where God created the universe. He ordered its existence, and it came from there. That was the Big Bang. The modern day Big Bang Theory is nothing more than a rip-off of the original, with the same name, no less. All they did, the only change was that they removed God from the equation. Let's see if I could get someone to assassinate that guy. Remove his Hindu influence. Let's see. Alright. This seems like it's basically all I can do for now. Well, I'd stay and continue on for longer, but these videos can only have so much space on my computer. And I'm still an amateur at making videos, so I bid you all good night, now that Mysore has fallen. Kind of Mysore. Kind of Mysore. Well, have a good day.